Hi guys, how are we doing? Welcome to BC308, Saxophone Improvisation. Now, the first thing I want to tell you is, you can improvise. What did you do today? Well, you've looked up some videos on how to improvise. That's improvising. Improvising is simply reacting to your inner thoughts, or reacting to the environment, or reacting to a sound that's going on. That's what improvisation is. And the most important thing, and this is what a lot of people forget about improvisation, it's fun. It's about being creative and enjoying yourself. It's good fun. It's enjoyable. Remember that, you know. Why are you playing the saxophone? Well, yeah, some people do it to earn a living and stuff, but really you're doing it because you want to learn a new hobby, or, you know, you want an escape from your day-to-day. You're quite bored. You need a new skill. You want to learn a new skill. But it's all about having fun, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's all about having fun. So, when you're improvising, don't get bogged down with questions like, you know, what notes are perfect to fit over that, you know, dominant 7 chord with a flattened 6th. You know, it doesn't matter really at this stage. It really doesn't. It's all about having a listen, you know. You're playing a few notes in a row. Do they sound good? Is it a nice tune? Do you enjoy it when you listen to it? If the answer is yes, then well, you're doing everything right, aren't you? That's the bottom line. So, when we're going to do this basic improvisation, we're going to just listen. Listen carefully to what we're doing. And that is questions, really. When you get to the end of your little bit of improvising, does it sound like it's finished? It's quite an important thing. Does it sound like it's finished there? Could you hold that last note and then think, yeah, that was great, that was the last note of my tune? Or does it sound like you've reached a middle point, a climax, or, you know, do you need to add a little bit? And these are all questions. These are all things that are going to improve you later on. Also, I have a little bit of a confession to make. I've tricked you a little bit, whereas when I was teaching you the D blues scale, I asked you to choose a few random notes and just work your way around. If you haven't done the blues scale, you know, you best go back and have a look, because this is what this improvisation is all about, or this lesson anyway. So, really, you've chosen different notes in different orders. You've reacted to what you felt like, and you've played in a key, because you played in the D blues scale. So, well, you've already improvised. Congratulations, you've already improvised, you've already done it, right? So, now we can forget about this thing about, oh, I can't improvise, I'll never be able to improvise. Yes, you can. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to take that D minor blues scale again. Sorry, D blues scale. And we're just going to play around with it again. So, I mean, it's quite a bluesy thing, isn't it, that blues scale? You'd think it would be with it being called a blues scale. So, we're just going to alternate between the first few notes. Now, what I've done there is I've chosen a little bit of a rhythm. Ba, 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 ba. Just off my first few notes. What has that done? That's set a little pulse, hasn't it? Already. So, I've got a beat going. I don't need to play with anybody else yet. I've just got a beat going. Right, so I put a few extra notes in there, but I've generally stuck to that same pulse. And when I got to the middle of that little phrase there, did it sound finished? Did it sound like I finished my improvisation now? So what have I done there? I've done a little bit of an idea. I've had a little bit of a swung kind of bum ba ba ba. Sounds quite bluesy. And then at the middle of my phrase, I've added a long note that didn't sound like my whole improvisation was finished. That gave me sort of a sentence, a little bit of an idea. You could call it idea 1 if you like. Okay, not the best improvisation in the world, but at the end of that, did it sound finished? Yeah, it did. So, why did it sound finished? Well, as it happens, I started on. that note there, which was the low D of the D blues, and the last note I played was D. So in total it felt like it had come round in a big circle and ended. It sounds finished. And that's what I want you to have a play around with now. Take your blues scale, add a few different rhythms, mess around. Remember that you don't have to be playing notes all the time, so just a few ideas to take away with. Repeat notes. Repeated notes are very important. Don't know if you watched it, or don't know if you even like Katy Perry, but I did the transcription of Katy Perry's Firework and taught that. And that song literally has F sharp repeated 9 times in it. She's sold how many millions of records now? How many millions has she earned? Purely on, a tune that really repeats the same note often. And it's exactly the same on the saxophone. Sometimes it works really, really well. So repeating notes is a good idea. And we can just steal that as an idea in our improvising. So pick a handful of notes. Step 1. Pick a handful of notes. Step 2. Make an interesting rhythm. So it's not just ta 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 ta. It's not a tonguing exercise, it's about making an interesting rhythm. So what was my interesting rhythm? So I had long, short, long, short. A long, short, long, short. And then I had a bit of a break, didn't I? I had a rest. That's quite important as well because it gave you time to go, ooh, that sounds really good. And that's when the audience listens. When an audience listens to improvisation, they need a little bit of time to have a listen and go, oh yeah, I can digest that. You don't always want to be hearing stuff being blasted at you, especially if it's something relaxed like that. So handful of notes, interesting rhythm. Try to reach a climax in the middle. Don't make your improvisation too long at this stage. Just if you're thinking in 4, so if there's 4 beats per little section. Try and make your section about 4 bars of 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4. Call that the middle of your phrase, and then add another 4 lots of 4 clicks, even if that's really slow. And then make sure that in the middle you've reached the climax, and finally make sure your improvisation ends as well. So you've got loads of things to choose from here. You can use that blues scale. That D blues scale is a really good one to do bluesy things. You can't really go wrong. As long as you pick different notes from that blues scale, it's going to sound great. And, that's it. But over time, you can start adding different notes to that blues scale as well. So once you're happy with the D blues, start adding a few notes in from C major scale that we've already done. Add a few notes from C major scale, plus a bit of the D minor blues and the D blues scale, and then it'll start coming together. Okay guys, so I've not really explained, played a lot to you today, but I've hopefully given you some food for thought, and hopefully you can take that away just to have an experiment with that D blues. What I'm going to do in further lessons is I'll put some backing tracks together so we can have a jam through things and talk about what notes fit over different chords, but we'll do that later. For now, I want you to get good at writing a little melody on your own. I mean, improvisation is a little bit like composition. So if you don't like improvising, well, all you're doing is composing, really. You're making up a tune, something that you like. Not I like, what you like. It's your saxophone, it's your music, they're your feelings, they're your emotions. So if you like it, it's a winner. Alright guys, so I shall catch you next time. Have fun with that. Improvisation's great. Remember, you can improvise. Honestly, you can improvise. You've done it already. Alright guys, catch you next time. Hope you enjoyed that. Please comment below. If you want to put any video responses, show me your improvisations. I would love to hear them. Especially if they're around the D blues. No crazy bebop scales in this yet. Just D blues. I love to hear them. Alright? See you next time. Bye.